Just when you decided you were sick of media news? Well, here's some more.
This whole thing is insane!
Media News, episode 91, Germs and Gyros.
Hey folks, how you doing? Comic Book Man here. Welcome to my video outhouse.
Welcome.
It's time once again for JR.
Media News.
Media News. And of course, Media News is coming to you from Alternate Reality, which is located at the intersection of 111th and Kedzie in beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood. Alternate Reality, where all new comics are 15% off every day for everyone. See, it says it right there.
Define beautiful.
Beautiful, as in splendiferous, as in bucolic, as in where's Uncle Pete when I need
Bubonic?
him? Where's Uncle Pete when I need him?
It doesn't make your eyes bleed when you look at it.
Yeah, but it makes your butt bleed. Your rectum will bleed for weeks.
Wow.
So hurry up, will you?
But if you're a vampire from Twilight, you might actually like that because you live off of blood.
This is a great story.
How's that for a great segue?
I love this story.
Nobody eats butt blood.
Oh, if you're a hungry vampire.
The Twilight studio attached...
What's up with Twilight?
Well, this is a great story.
Is it?
Well, you know how they attach trailers to movies that are of a similar type of ilk?
Sure.
So Twilight has...
Sure, if you go to see a kid's movie, you usually see kids' trailers.
Exactly. So Twilight has attached to it Paranormal Activity 2. Now, for those of you that have
never saw one.
Well,
I never saw
one's
one.
actually a good film that
That's
was
what I've heard.
very inexpensively
review.
made. I did review, and I
review.
thought it was very effective.
You can read his review at the store's website, which we'll get to at the end of this, but the store's website, he reviewed it.
Yeah, it's in the archive, so there's a lot of pointy-clicky you got to do, but look for it. But anyway, it's a handheld camera kind of movie, pseudo-documentary stuff. So anyway, this preview is attached to Twilight.
Yeah.
Well, in Texas, for some reason, just in Texas, this has happened. The Twilight fans were up in arms over this trailer because it was so frightening that they complained to theater owners, and the studio has pulled...
I'm scared!
The theater owners they've pulled the trailer from the theaters in Texas that were showing it.
Maybe it'll help them to secede from the union.
A trailer for a horror movie was too scary for Twilight fans. Something wrong with that picture?
Well, they're not very bright to begin with.
And it's a good trailer, too, by the way. If you see it, it is very unnerving. So.
Is it?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, it's pretty effective.
Great. Okay. So that's it.
Yeah,
MGM Money Woes. Oh, my God.
It just keeps
RoboCop
going.
and Bond and Hobbit.
Exactly,
and what else is
exactly.
What else has hit the brick wall?
We talked about Hobbit last week. This week, they've announced that the James Bond sequel is done. They're not going to make it. They don't have any money to make it. They have nothing to do. The remake of RoboCop. Not going to make it.
Not going to make it.
It's Three Stooges biopic, which I had no idea they were making.
No, au contraire. Remember about a year ago when we had the board?
That's right.
There you go. Now it comes back.
I'm such an empty head.
How could you forget that?
We had the flow chart.
We had the flow chart of
That's
who was
right.
going to be your stooge.
We should have had that this time.
Who was at one point we had
yeah,
Tom Hanks was attached to it.
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey,
Oh, Jim
Sean
Carrey.
Penn, and Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, at one point,
as
yeah.
Mo. We're not going to get to see that now. Come on, somebody give MGM some money. Come on. I got to see it. But anyway.
So it's not happening right
They're
now.
not going to be making any movies.
Thank you, God.
Here's the word. They are in debt to the tune of $4.5 billion.
Billion? How do you get if you're a movie studio, how do you get $4.5 billion in debt when you don't do any movies in the first place?
A lot of really extravagant lunches, Comic Book Man.
They hardly make any movies, and most of the movies they've made have made money. Lord of the Rings,
Mismanagement.
James Bond.
James Bond films.
These are cash cows, for God's sake. How do you get $4.5 billion in the hole when that's all you practically put out is cash cows?
Incredible mismanagement. Now Warner Brothers stepped up to the plate and said, "We will offer you $1.5 billion."
We'll be happy to take James Bond.
And they offered him $1.5 billion, and MGM said, "No, that's not enough to get us out of the hole." So they're still on the block.
Well, no, but you know who else is offering you $1.5 billion?
Yeah, this is true. But anyway, nothing coming from MGM anytime soon.
Okay.
All right.
Rise of the Apes has we have a little casting thing about that.
Andy Serkis, who was the motion capture gentleman for Gollum in the Lord of the Rings films.
Okay.
He was King Kong for Peter Jackson in the Lord of the Rings.
And now he's Roddy McDowell.
He is Caesar in Rise of the Apes. Now, they're not saying if he's going to be a makeup Caesar or if he's going to be a CGI creation. I'm going to guess kind of a mix of the two, but
probably.
Who knows? You hire Andy Serkis, and it's for his ability to mime.
Okay. Fall Guy. Remember Fall Guy with Lee Majors?
Yeah, man.
And he had that miserable cracker-ass theme song that was on that thing.
Which he actually sang.
And it was actually a top 20 hit.
What?
It was. I remember that. It was a top 20 hit for, it was like the A-Team theme. The A-Team theme. the original A-Team,
Shame on all of you.
was
for
a
buying
top
the
20
Fall Guy
hit.
song. Shame.
Remember SWAT?
Oh, sure.
The theme from SWAT, that was a top 20. That was a top 20 hit too once upon a time.
Oh, yeah.
And so was this Fall Guy thing. Anyway, what about Fall Guy?
It's being developed. Well, after the rampant, wholehearted success of the A-Team at the box office, the Fall Guy is now fodder for a feature film.
You know, go with gold. Go with the gold.
Last time I checked, A-Team has done $66 million at the box office, comic book man. $66 million. So the Fall Guy could only do worse.
I'm sure there'll be a sequel.
Yeah.
Something that is gold on Facebook is Mafia Wars, which I despise.
I despise it too.
I despise it, and it's over at 7-Eleven, which I despise also.
Really?
Yeah, well, you go over there and get a Slurpee, and you got that chick with a gun on the thing. So go on over and get a Slurpee, and she'll blow your brains out.
Well,
for you.
Hollywood.
Oh, the other thing. You know how Sherlock Holmes when Sherlock Holmes came out, and you got Holmes and Watson there telling you to eat Churritos,
Right.
or whatever, churros or whatever the hell it was, which has nothing to do with Victorian England.
No.
You go over there and you can get a Mafia. You can get a Mafia Wars blood orange hot cocoa, I think it is.
Wow, do they have an Italian necktie Slurpee?
And they've got a gangster there. They got a gangster there holding a gun, telling you to get a blood orange.
Well,
how do you mix death and Slurpees and make that sell?
Hollywood has
Or
taken
coffee.
notice because Comic Book Man on Facebook, Mafia Wars has 30 million users.
Yeah, not me.
It's been optioned for a feature film.
Yeah.
So now we are going to get Mafia Wars the movie. 30 million people can't be wrong. We're the only two that don't play it and like it. So there you go.
Okay. Our last story, the invention of Hugo.
Yes,
Cabaret.
Martin Scorsese's first foray and probably only foray into the 3D movie realm. And it's also a children's film based on the invention of Hugo Cabaret novel. Cast is filling out Ben Kingsley, Sacha Baron Cohen, Borat.
This live action?
It is live action, yes. Chloe Moretz, who was Hit Girl in Kick-Ass.
Okay.
Jude Law, Ray Winstone, and Christopher Lee, who is timeless, who seems to keep working and working and working.
Him and Betty White.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, they should do a film together.
Do a film together.
3D children's film coming out December of next year. Martin Scorsese. I bow at that altar.
Okay. That's it. That's all we got
we're
time
done.
for. We're skipping the Pee Wee Herman stories. We don't have time for it, but we'll come back to it next time. But until then, you can get all the media news you'd ever want and all the reviews you ever wanted to read at the store's website. And it's at...
What? www.myalternatereality.com.
So, stop off at the store's website. Check out all of his news and his reviews. Go and point at Bo. He's over there.
He's taking a cruise.
Until next time, this is Comic Book Man.
And it's JR saying Happy 4th of July and...
Happy 4th of July, everybody. And leave us a comment on Facebook or YouTube if you watch this and you like it, or if you don't like it. Bye! The hero of the month this month at Alternate Reality is the Star-Spangled Avenger himself, Captain America. That's right, all my Captain America trades are 25% off all month long. Hardcovers, softcovers, Masterworks, Essentials, everything that's a Captain America trade paperback is 25% off all month long here at Alternate Reality.